Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Soka University of America on this most auspicious occasion, the much anticipated commencement of the graduate and undergraduate classes of 2017. We are pleased to announce that today's ceremony is being broadcast to family, friends, and alumni around the world via live streaming through our SUA website. We will now begin our program. Please stand for the 2017 Commencement Processional. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2017 Commencement of Soka University of America. Please remain standing as members of the student chorus sing the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Now, please welcome the president of Soka University of America, Daniel Y. Habuki.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2017 Commencement Ceremony of Soka University of America. On behalf of SUA, I'd like to welcome all of you, especially the families and friends of our graduating students. I'm honored to welcome this year's commencement speaker, Dr. Mihail Csikszentmihalyi, the co-director of the doctoral program in Positive Developmental Psychology at Claremont Graduate University, and also recognized for his psychological concept of law. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. I'm very pleased to welcome the member of our Board of Trustees, as well as member of our distinguished faculty. On behalf of Soka, I'd like to thank them for their contribution to the school. I'd also like to express my appreciation to the university founder, Daisaku Ikeda, for establishing SUA and for offering the entire community, especially our students, his warm support over the years. To our dear graduates, I am sure your time at Soka was very meaningful, as the state of our society pushed you to further reflect on the university's mission. During a time when the world is filled with uncertainty, I'm reminded of Soka Education's founder, Mr. Tsunesaburo Makibi's writing, The System of Value-Creating Pedagogy, where he describes the three different ways of life as human beings: dependent, independent, and contributive. Mr. Ikeda shared the following in his peace proposal last year, quote, "In a dependent way of life, a person is typically unable to sense their own potential, giving up on any real possibility of transforming their current situation, and instead passively accommodating themselves to others and their immediate surroundings, or to the largest trend in society. In an independent way of life, people have desire to find their own way forward, but tend to have little interest in those with whom they are not directly involved. They are quick to assume that, however trying the circumstances of another person, it is up to that person to find a solution through their own effort," end quote. Finally, he shared, "The ideal way of life is to lead a contributive way of life. Here at Soka, we strive to give our students the opportunity to see that we are and everything in the world are all interconnected. We recognize that our happiness is not just our own personal joy, but also comes from the joy and happiness of others. In addition, we realize that we should not build such happiness upon the suffering and the misery of others. Our mission, therefore, is to foster the steady stream of global citizens committed to living a contributive life, and thereby build a foundation for such collective happiness. With this in mind, I am confident that your education at Soka provided you with the best framework and mindset to become such global citizens. Under the guidance of our esteemed faculty, together with the lifelong friendship you developed here, your time at Soka will always be a source of inspiration and hope as you face many challenges and victories ahead. Please remember, your Soka family will always be cheering you on. To the class of 2017, congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Hyun Moon, Dean of Students here at SUA. I'm very happy to report that we have received a message from our university founder, Daisaku Ikeda, to the class of 2017. A digital copy of the full text of his message has been sent to all degree candidates, as well as to all members of the campus community. You can also access the message at the university's website at soka.edu. Allow me now to take the opportunity to share a few excerpts from Mr. Ikeda's message. To the class of 2017, my heart has traversed the vast Pacific in but an instant to join you at this very moment here at the Soka Performing Arts Center of Soka University of America in beautiful Aliso Viejo. Allow me then to extend you my warmest applause, for you have not only added another illustrious chapter to the storied tradition of your alma mater, you have managed to crown the remarkable narratives of your youth with epic success. I will be keenly following this wonderful commencement ceremony as if I was there. Congratulations to the undergraduate class of 2017 and the class of 2017 in the master's program of educational leadership. I know this is a particularly proud moment in your lives. You represent the very hope of humanity. You are all no less precious to me than my very life. As to your families who sent you on your way far from home, and to your friends whose support you have come to rely, I extend my profound felicitations. To the faculty and staff of SUA, I'm deeply grateful to you for warmly encouraging our students, for the care and counsel you have provided them, regardless of the time of day or night. We are privileged to have so many distinguished guests and dignitaries with us today, among them being Dr. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi. As founder of this institution, I know of no greater joy and honor than in welcoming you all. In a Japanese newspaper interview 5 years ago, Dr. Csikszentmihalyi cited 3 conditions that he felt were the most important in life. The first was trust. The second, hope. And the third, the opportunity to enjoy what one is doing at any given time. Given Dr. Csikszentmihalyi's conditions, and befitting the congenial mood of this ceremony, I'd like to offer 3 suggestions of my own as if we were all gathered around him engaging in a friendly chat. The first of my suggestions is this: earn the trust of society and the world and extend the bonds it builds. As Dr. Csikszentmihalyi notes, trustworthiness is of paramount value. Josei Toda, my mentor in life, counted fidelity and trustworthiness among the most vital qualities that a young person should cherish. Life itself could be described as a great test to determine the extent an individual can win the trust of others and broaden its reach. That is why I call on you to always remain trustworthy in a manner becoming of a SUA alumnus, creating meaningful value at whatever stage of life you are bound for. A storm cloud threatening our times darken even further. Yet, I call on you to transform mistrust into trust, division into unity, the fear of differences into the joys of diversity. Do so with grace and daring without morose, fear, or uncertainty. That is my abiding hope. As to my second suggestion, it is this: cast the light of hope even farther by working with people and organizations that encourage hope. Those who have friends with common goals are strong. This is because we can summon forth an abundance of hope by encouraging each other. Hope inspires the wisdom and power to overcome any hardship or obstacle. You and your friends share an overarching purpose and solidarity here at SUA. As you and your friends share in one another's joys and sorrows, cast the light of hope far and wide with indomitable optimism while striving together to triumph in life and achieve your grandest of ideals. My final suggestion is this: live to the fullest in every life moment to discover the fount of joy and creativity to shape the future. You are all young. You shouldn't feel compelled to achieve immediate success. Take this time instead to thoroughly prepare yourself by staying in the moment to do the very best you can and learn to enjoy the challenges you encounter day after day. Things may not unfold as you hope, but that is exactly when you should be working even harder to come up with innovative ways to overcome whatever obstacle you confront. As long as you remain true and humble while doggedly striving to surmount every difficulty, you are bound to break through, experiencing surges of creativity as mighty and magnificent as the dawning sun. Today's commencement ceremony is the start of a new creativity journey for you. It is my hope that you will all open new vistas in life, in society, and in the world by tirelessly compiling effort upon effort, tackling challenge after challenge. I will be praying wholeheartedly that every one of you enjoy the very best of health and happiness, and that your lives will be crowned with lasting glory and triumph. 3 heartfelt cheers to my beloved graduates of the classes of 2017 and to all the members of the SUA family. Congratulations from the bottom of my heart. Daisaku Ikeda, founder, May 26, 2017. And And now, please join me in welcoming the student chorus and orchestra, which will be performing the student song on the Path of Peace.
Thank you very much for your beautiful performance of our student song. At this time, it is my great pleasure to be able to confer Soka University of America's highest award of honor on our commencement speaker, Dr. Chiksen Mihail. Will you be here? I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I always make a mistake. Soka University of America, highest award of honor, Chiksen Mihail. In honor of your outstanding dedication to Soka University of America and for your personal commitment to the humanistic ideal upon which it was founded, the university hereby recognizes your contribution to the youth of the future and their development as global citizens of the 21st century. On this 26th day of May 2017, Daisaku Ikeda founder, Daniel Y. Habuki, president.
Once again, Dr. Chukse-mihai, we are honored by your presence with us today. So, allow me to share a few words about today's distinguished speaker. Dr. Chukse-mihai was born in Fiume, Italy, now Rijeka, Croatia, to Hungarian parents during World War II, where he experienced firsthand the misery and adversities of war. However, at such a time, he grew interested in happiness and understanding what contributed to a life worth living. Later, he discovered psychology as a way he could answer some of life's questions. And in 1956, Dr. Chukse-mihai left Italy to pursue his studies at the University of Chicago and completed his PhD in human development in 1965. His most notable contribution is his seminal research on a mental state called flow, which he describes as, quote, being completely involved in an activity for its own sake. Your whole being is involved, and you're using your skills to the utmost, unquote. For over 40 years, Dr. Chukse-mihai has continued to develop this concept of flow and has written books and numerous academic articles on joy, fulfillment, and humanity's pursuit for happiness that speaks to both researchers and general public. In 1999, Dr. Chukse-mihai moved to California to teach psychology and management at the Claremont Graduate University's Drucker School of Management. In addition to teaching, he now co-directs the doctoral program in positive psychology in the Department of Behavioral and Organizational Sciences at Claremont, and is also the co-director of Quality of Life Research Center, a nonprofit research institute that he founded in 1999. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Chukse-mihai.
Well, it's really one in a lifetime opportunity to be so welcomed as you people have been here, and I'm honored to be able to present some ideas for you, recent graduates or current graduates, I will try to draw on my experience of life and also on my studies, my scholarship, to give some advice of you, although you who are about to leave the boundaries of this beautiful campus are probably already pretty much prepared to face what you are going to encounter out of this place. But the fact is that you are going to be involved in a world that has unfortunately many problems with it, and where there is a lot of work to do for making the world a better place. And I hope you are, from what I know about the training you got here and those graduates of this university who have continued their studies to a doctorate in my department, I know that you don't need as much advice as most people in your situation need. I think that you are quite well prepared to succeed in a world that, even though it's one that is full of conflicts and problems and the fact is that you should remember that the United States and the productive sector of the United States is still quite healthy compared to what happens in the rest of the world. In fact, there are few other places in the world that you can feel part of a growing economy and a still stable society. More than in most other countries, American workers actually like to do what they are doing. According, for instance, to a recent Gallup survey of representative sample of American workers, 68% of them indicated that even if they had the chance of winning $10 million at the lottery, they would still continue in their job. And 44% say they would continue to do exactly what they were doing before, even if they had 10 million. This level of commitment to one's work is quite extraordinary, unprecedented in the industrial world. However, there are also signs that portend possible trouble ahead. According to some surveys, the so-called millennials, the generation closest to that of these graduates we are here in front of us, are less engaged and less optimistic about their future than any older generation had been. So this is something to keep in mind, and as you and your generation of young men and women, are you going to find fulfillment in your work, or will you feel that what you have to do for a living is a burdensome imposition, a necessary evil to be avoided as much as possible? Much will depend on how you personally will answer that question. Your own happiness hinges on it, and the welfare of our society depends on it in the long run. So, how to prepare yourself to succeed in what may turn out to be some perilous times ahead? Let me share with you some suggestions based on over 80 years of experience, as well as half a century of scholarly study. First of all, just let me run down the 5 main points and then elaborate on some of them. The first point is really something that was known in ancient Greece, where in the place where the Sibyl of Greece was supposed to tell the fortune, the future, to those who came to ask her what the future portends. So in a way, she was 3,000 years ago already like a clinical psychologist of the time. And she had inscribed on her entrance door, carved in marble, the phrase in Greece, "Gnosi teuton," which means know thyself. And that was the essential advice of the Sibyl, who was the wisest woman in the West at the time, in Europe. And I think it's still a good advice. You have to get familiar with your strong points, your strengths, and your weaknesses, and try to plan your life around them in a way that you can feel that you are fulfilling the essence of who you are in your job, in your family life, and so forth. And then once you get to know yourself, you have to try to develop your strengths. Many people don't. They just bask in the fact that they have a better mind or a better body or a better sense of music than others, and they just enjoy that, but they don't feel the responsibility of doing something with the talent they have, the gift they have. And then you have to find opportunities for those strengths that you have. And you have to find places to work, people to be with, people to marry, who are compatible with those strengths and the weaknesses that you may have. The most important thing, perhaps, is that whatever you do, try to do the best of whatever you're doing. So many people work with the plan that they will try to do the least effort in what they are doing just to get their paycheck and go home and watch television. And that prescription for a good life really doesn't work. One of the most amazing people I interviewed was a man in Manhattan, in New York, whose job was to cut tuna fish, or actually salmon into as thin fillets as possible, kind of like sushi. And his job was from morning to night is to just fillet the fish. And this he did day after day. And I thought he would be completely tired of his work and waiting to retire. But actually, he says, every night I go home, I knew nobody else could have cut the slices as thin as I did, wasting as little meat as I did in the process, and do it as fast as possible. So I feel like a champion, and I feel proud of what I'm doing, and this is the way you can live if you are lucky to understand that your life is not given to you to waste or ignore and hope for the best. Your life is for you to shape so as to make the best for yourself and those who depend on you or who love you. So this is what led me to try to understand this experience of flow, which was alluded to by the President already. But let me just go very quickly through what flow involves so that you can we can have an understanding of this. And it's true that this complete involvement in what you're doing is often, or most of the time, happens in a sport, a leisure, a dance, something, singing, something that exists because the culture has made it possible for us to have times when we can really immerse ourselves, do our best, either athletically, artistically. And when we are doing that, we feel good because we know we are doing the best we can. Our talents, our strengths are expressed. But the point is that it's easy to experience flow when you are playing music or doing a sport. The real challenge for us is to see how can you experience that in everyday life, in your job, when you are at home, or when you are having a good conversation. And for that you have to understand how the flow happens and what is involved. And the very first characteristic of this type of experience is that you are focused on something very limited. It may be the movement of your muscles if you are an athlete, or the paints that you put on the canvas if you are a painter, but your whole world gets narrowed down to what you're doing. You're focused, and that is one of the first things about what being in flow means. And when you're in that situation, you get to the point where you are no longer thinking that you are doing it, you are just spontaneously proceeding along what you have practiced and what you are good at, and then you are just into what you are doing, and nothing else seems to matter at that point. When you are in that situation, one of the things you don't worry about is failing. You know that if you focus on what you're doing and you do what you're practiced, what you're good at, you're not going to fail. And that's, sometimes you are wrong, but most of the time that's actually how it happens. Then self-consciousness disappears. In other words, you're no longer aware of yourself as a student or a teacher or whatever. You are just doing what you're doing spontaneously without worrying about how you're doing. Then, when all of this happens, is that the sense of time is strangely distorted. In other words, you don't notice time as you're doing the activity, but afterwards you look back and you say, gee, I thought this was only half an hour, but it's been 3 hours, 4 hours that I've been doing this. And this happens in all kinds of situations. I visited my brother back in Hungary when he was about 83 years old. He had been, most of his adult life, he was prisoner in Soviet Gulag because he was captured in Budapest at the end of World War II and then kept in until he was too old to work and then sent back home. But he had developed in his little rooms, he had 2 rooms where he and his wife lived, and on the walls he built shelves of whole shelves, and on the shelves there were minerals of different kinds. He always, as a child, liked minerals and studied them, and never had a good collection because he had to work and the war was there. But now he was in his 70s and turning 80, and he made a beautiful collection of rocks. And he took one of them and showed to me, it was this size, and said, did you see this? And I pick it up, and yeah, it's good. And he said, well, you know, I just put it under a microscope when I got it a week ago, and I looked inside it, and I was looking at it outdoors on a table there, and turned it around under the microscope, and then I realized that it must be, the weather must have changed. It must have been starting to rain. And I look up at my watch, and actually it was 8 o'clock at night. And he started in the morning, first thing in the morning. And he spent all that time looking at a piece of rock this side. But he could tell which part of the Altai Mountains that separate China from Russia, from where it came from, what the chemical composition was, what the people, natives, use it to build things with it, with houses or statues or something. So, I mean, he could read a rock that it took me like 5 seconds maybe to look at and say, yeah, that's nice. But it took him hours. It was like he was reading a book about that kind of mineral. So that is the way you restrict your attention and how the sense of time becomes distorted in the flow situation. And then one of the important aspects is that you know that you can do what has to be done. That there's a balance between the challenges of the situation and your skills. And of course that means you have to spend quite a bit of time to develop your skills in some activities. But once you can do that, then you are ready. In fact, flow experience, the letter A there is where you start usually in an activity like playing music, playing the piano. Your skills are very low. The challenges you have is maybe learning to do the scales, but that's all you are doing, little challenge, little skill. But if you do that long enough, you start getting bored. As when skills are higher than challenges, you start feeling bored. And then you have a choice. You either say, oh, playing the piano is boring, let's forget it. Or you take some easy tune to play, but harder than scales, and you are playing Three Blind Mice or something like that, a very simple tune that gives you a little challenge. And when you are there, you are in flow. You are in flow, that is, you forget yourself, you are focused, you can do that until, for instance, somebody gives you a very difficult piece of music, maybe to play on the piano, maybe a piece by Chopin, and suddenly the challenge is so high that you start feeling anxious. At that point, again you quit or you go back to C to play something less difficult, or you increase the skills, which means that you practice and practice, and now you can play Chopin and be in flow again. So flow is that diagonal that goes from low skill, low challenge up to the skill of a professional doing very difficult things. And as long as you can stay in that region of the flow experience enough, you are going to do more or less. You are going to be happy with your work, you are going to do good work and contribute to it. So in everyday life, we find that flow happens when you are above average for your normal challenge level and above average of your skill level. When both of those are high, you feel in flow. Now, you still feel good when your skills are high and the challenges are not that high. And that's the area of control, which is still good. For instance, we find that most people, when they drive their cars, they feel in control, which is good to know that, that generally. Now, of course, if there is, especially here in the Southland, if there were a snowstorm, then you would have high challenge and low skills and you wouldn't be in control or in flow. But most of the time people are either flow and control unless there is some unexpected thing. Relaxation is when you have skills when the challenges are low. And this is when you have a good conversation, when you are relaxing, you're doing something that requires a little skills, but not that much, and so you feel good, and those three areas, flow, control, and relaxation are good. But now we get to the bad part of life. Boredom is when your skills are average, feel average, but there is no challenge for them. Unfortunately, a lot of life is spent in that area. And then apathy is the opposite of flow. There is no challenge, no skills. In everyday life, most people report apathy when they're sitting in the bathroom or doing something else of that sort when there's nothing much to require of them. And but that is, as the challenges increase, you begin to feel worried if the skills are still low. And then you feel anxious, and find anxious would be worried, anxious, and then as your skills go up again, you feel arousal. And arousal is when you are ready to do something, you are not really very sure how good you are at it. So you need a little more skill to be in flow, but you are close enough to be in flow. And this is the kind of map of everyday life that we find people report all over the world. And they report it in very predictable ways. For instance, in the U.S., also in Japan or Germany or South Africa, they are in flow usually when they are doing their favorite activity, which may be a leisure activity, a hobby, or work. If they like their work or when they like their work, they feel in flow. And most of the time, the romantic love life is in that area when the relationship is going well. Okay, so then control is more, as I say, driving is one area, but work often is you feel in control. It's not exciting, but you feel in control. Then when you go to the area of relaxation, then eating is usually relaxing, reading kind of not very deep things, and conversation is relaxing. Then again, work could be boring, and household chores are usually boring. And apathy is, come on, this thing is trying to, okay. Apathy is television viewing and things of that require no skill and present little challenges to most people. And then we have the area of worry, where work again presents worry, but it could be family problems. Your kids are not home when they should be, or you are afraid of losing your job or something. Work can be presenting worries, and in fact, if the problems are really high, work can be anxiety-producing. And finally, the arousal situation is where you learn new tasks and sometimes work. Now you see that work is almost everything. In fact, it could be even relaxing, but mostly work on the right-hand side of that graph is positive. You work and you enjoy it. You work and you love it because you are using your skills and you are meeting challenges. When work is in the left-hand side, you feel alienated from work, you feel bored, you feel worried, you feel anxious. And usually that what you are facing now is how to make your life more like the right-hand side of that graph, and that is the challenge that I hope you will be able to meet as you go on in your life. And I guess I had a very long presentation because I thought that it would go very fast, but instead I have finished what I had planned to say, but I said it much faster. So the question is, do we have a chance to answer questions or not? No, or probably that's not the right time to do that. So from all my heart, I hope that in the years to come, you can learn how to experience flow in your life, at work, and that in your family life also, because I'm sure you know very well how to get flow otherwise, from parties, from sports, and from all kinds of other things. But the thing is, if you divide life into work, which is boring but necessary, and then leisure, which is fun but unnecessary, then you have split your life in a way that is probably not very healthy in the long run for you. It's better if you can experience your work and enjoy it as much as you enjoy the fun parts of life, and choose things for your fun part of life that also build your skills and make you a more rounded person. And in that case, I think you will have the whole package, which I hope all of you will experience as you grow up. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shiksemi-hao. I think today we have a great cause. We are going to bring him back here to have a Q&A session sometime in the future. Okay, now I'd like to ask the Vice President for Academic Affairs and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Edward Fiesel, to present the candidate for the degree.
Mr. President, before I present the candidates, it is my great pleasure and honor to recognize the faculty of Soka University of America. Our faculty are mentors and friends. In their teaching, they inspire. In their scholarship, they set an example of lifelong learning and intellectual inquiry. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially the class of 2017, I invite you to recognize and thank them for all of their special efforts. Would our faculty please stand? Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to present to you the graduate school class of 2017. Will the master degree candidates please stand? Mr. President, these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for the Master of Arts in Educational Leadership and Societal Change. On behalf of the faculty, I recommend that they be admitted to this degree.
With the recommendation of the faculty, approval of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me as the President of Soka University of America, I confer upon you the degree of Master of Arts with all the rights and privileges obtained thereto.
As a symbol of your graduation, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. Now, as I call your name, please come to the stage to receive your diploma. Gerald Chu. Elizabeth Akiko Morel Luisa Dawson. Kathleen June Habuki. Emmy Inaba. Sunu. Vin Huang Trun. My heartiest congratulations to the graduate school class of 2017. Please be seated. At this time, I'd like to ask Ms. June Habuki to come to the stage to give remarks on behalf of her fellow graduate students.
Good afternoon. Most of you know me as June, and yes, I am a proud member of the second class of the new MA program in Educational Leadership and Societal Change, and I am honored to be speaking on behalf of my class today. First and foremost, we would like to thank the founders for creating a university where we were able to challenge many aspects of our lives, both academically and by growing as people. We would also like to thank the donors who made it possible for us to receive an invaluable education. To Danny, Jay, Dr. T, Adam, Sandy, Rika, Cynthia, and to our friends and wonderful families, thank you for supporting us in our journey to the end. When I began the program almost 2 years ago, I thought to myself, I'm just going to go on my own, do what I need to do, then graduate. However, I soon discovered that it's difficult to do your own thing when your entire class is made up of only 6 people, taking the same courses and having to work with them on various projects on a weekly basis. I realized we were a vastly unique group of individuals coming from different backgrounds: a musician, an accountant, a businessman, a scientist, and teachers. Our class was the type who flew under the radar, shunning the limelight, and going about tending to our own things. However, this inwardness turned out to be our greatest strength, which oddly enough helped us to create stronger bonds amongst each other. In the end, we became a functioning, dysfunctional family. The one that needs facts and will demand for it, the creative one who brings an imaginative perspective to everything, the one that knows what she wants and always goes for it, the rational one who separates ideals from reality, and the quiet observer who everyone listens to. Throughout the program, there were moments of frustration because there were no simple answers to the many of the problems we studied. No matter what discussions or arguments we have, in the end, it all came back to the question, for what purpose? I will continuously think and ask, for what purpose will I use this education I received at SUA? Each one of us challenged each other in one way or another, and even though we may not have always seen eye to eye, ultimately we respected each other. This is the societal change aspect of the program. It gave us real-life practice in building relationships with individuals that may not share the same views as we do. I came to the conclusion that it wasn't that the program was dictating to us how to change society. Rather, through the hidden curriculum of our cohort's daily intellectual, social, and emotional interactions and dialogues, we were learning to change society on a small scale and learning lessons that we will take with us as we move forward in becoming leaders in our respective fields. Looking back at the founder's welcome message to the class of 2017, he encouraged us to, quote, become leaders who can deeply understand the hearts of people, who will share in their struggle, and who, like the first light of dawn, can send limitless courage to all. We were able to experience through the interactions we had with each other, going to different countries and states to research, and learning from the distinguished speakers. After graduation, we will be going on our different paths as wiser human beings and as leaders contributing to society in our own remarkable way. It has been an immense joy being able to go on this journey with the SUA community, the faculty, the staff, Sosekai, the undergraduates, the first and third class of the graduate program, friends, and family. With appreciation for all your support, we set out on our new path as SUA graduates. Thank you very much.
Thank you, June. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great pleasure and honor to present to you the undergraduate class of 2017. Will the bachelor degree candidates please stand? Mr. President, these candidates have fulfilled all the requirements for the Bachelor of Arts in Liberal Arts. On behalf of the faculty, I recommend that they be admitted to this degree.
With the recommendation of the faculty, the approval of the Board of Trustees, and by the authority vested in me as the President of Soka University of America, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts with all the rights and privileges obtained thereto.
As a symbol of your graduation, please move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. I would now like to ask the Assistant Dean of Faculty, Dr. Michael Weiner, to call upon the undergraduate class of 2017.
Today we are presenting degrees to students of the undergraduate class of 2017. Students who will be graduating with honors will be called upon with one of the following categories of honors. Cum laude, 3.5 GPA. Magna cum laude, 3.7 GPA. Summa cum laude, 3.9 GPA. Will the candidates please come to the center of the stage to receive their diploma? Makoto Abe, cum laude. Hideto Akasu, cum laude. Andrea Arellano Salazar, magna cum laude. Audrey Lee Arias, cum laude. Aaron Aubrey, cum laude. Matteo Barbiero, summa cum laude. Brenna Corinne Niemeyer Bayardo. Denham Belleville, magna cum laude. Prakash Bista, cum laude. Christina Booten, magna cum laude. Cassidy Catherine Bradford, summa cum laude. Lauren Elizabeth Broker. Emily Louise Castillo, cum laude. Chin Fukong, magna cum laude. William Cox, cum laude. Jennifer Daly, magna cum laude. Christina Mika Enomoto, magna cum laude. Christina Evans, cum laude. Desiree Fernandez, magna cum laude. Katrina Flynn Robinson, magna cum laude. Y. Ki Fong, cum laude. Julia Iris Franciscovich. Chloe Fredrickson, summa cum laude. Masako Fukutani, magna cum laude. Amy Elise Fuller. Nobuyuki Bambi Furuta, summa cum laude. Richard Koji Gaines. Dimitri Garot, summa cum laude. Dominic Pershing Goshert, cum laude. Chelsea Shanming Hanifin. William Mitsuaki Hashimoto. Yumiko Hayashi, summa cum laude. Max Koichi Hein. Elise Sabra Hildreth, cum laude. Catherine Hunt Rodriguez, magna cum laude. Yuki Imahashi. Hideaki Ishiyama, magna cum laude. Satoshi Ito, cum laude. Takayuki Izumi, magna cum laude. Julie Jackson, magna cum laude. Pamini Jen, magna cum laude. Jade James, magna cum laude. Michaela Jeffries. Taylor Carnelaw, summa cum laude. Shota Kawasaki, magna cum laude. Braxton Keogh, magna cum laude. Subhagya Kanduri, cum laude. Paresh Ketan, cum laude. Daiki Kumazawa, summa cum laude. Hana Elizabeth Kurihara, cum laude. Yuta Kurosawa, magna cum laude. Tyson La Deng. Chase William Lanfer, magna cum laude. Brandon Lim. Erica Lim, magna cum laude. Jordan Lindsay, cum laude. Wei Hung Lo, magna cum laude. Yuan Ma, cum laude. Sean Robert Maddox, summa cum laude. Morihiro Maezaki, cum laude. Yuta Maizono, magna cum laude. Haruki Miyamoto, magna cum laude. Tomohiro Miyoshi. Hiromitsu Mizuishi. Nobue Morikawa, magna cum laude. Kenichi Linus Morita, magna cum laude. Saori Motobayashi, magna cum laude. Akemi Murayama, magna cum laude. Amy Michie Nagao, cum laude. Hiromi Narita, magna cum laude. Riley Neal, cum laude. Miku Nishimura, magna cum laude. Yu Jun-oh, summa cum laude. Egan Osaki, magna cum laude. Haruka Otsuji, magna cum laude. Yuen Fan Ki Pham. Albert Pineda, summa cum laude. Fiona Poon. Kelly Ann Quinlan. Paloma Reyes, cum laude. Karen Moreno, magna cum laude. Rayan Kamakana Okealoha Rooney, magna cum laude. Hetal Haresh Shah, summa cum laude. Janmin Shah, magna cum laude. Noelle Smith is unable to attend today's commencement ceremony because she is representing this university at the NAIA National Championships for track and field. So a shout out to Noelle. Asher Soto, cum laude. Samantha Marilyn Steed, magna cum laude. Mitchell Stitt, cum laude. Katie Lynn Szymanski, magna cum laude. Yoko Taguchi, summa cum laude. Sachio Takahashi, magna cum laude. Hikaru Takayama, summa cum laude. Ami Tanahashi, magna cum laude. Guangda Tang, cum laude. Juliet Tully, magna cum laude. Galina Lee Tran, summa cum laude. Kaori Tsuji, summa cum laude. Natsuko Umezaki, summa cum laude. Molly Morgan Watson. Tiffany Rose Wilson, magna cum laude. Okar Winsway, summa cum laude. Mana Yamagiwa, magna cum laude. My heartiest congratulations to the undergraduate class of 2017.
Today's graduating seniors have selected from among their peers 3 students to speak on their behalf. Please welcome first to the stage Elise Hildreth.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to start off by thanking the faculty, administration, staff, donors, parents, and most importantly, my fellow classmates. These past 4 years would not have been the same or as wonderful without each and every one of you. So my journey to Soka began when I was 4 years old, the first time a soccer ball was put to my feet. I fell in love with the game, and 13 years later, I received an email asking me to play for the soccer team. And so, my time here at Soka started off with a bang. And by a bang, I mean a call from my assistant coach asking where I was. Everyone was already running the fitness test. I looked at my phone, and of course, I set my alarm to 6 p.m. instead of 6 a.m. I jolted out of bed and ran down to the soccer field, and to this day, I have no clue where that speed came from. But at the end of sophomore year, I decided to challenge myself. I realized that while soccer has brought me some of my closest friendships, I wanted to branch out more within the Soka community. I applied to be a summer RA, and luckily, I was accepted. This is a perfect situation. I was able to stay here and do my soccer summer workouts, and I also got to befriend the Soka Women's College and summer bridge students. It was by far one of the best summers I've ever had. I was able to learn more about and appreciate Japanese culture from the Soka Women's College and share my American culture with them, something that prepared me for study abroad. So then came junior year, when I boarded my first flight by myself. Study abroad was the first time since I was 4 years old that I was not surrounded by a soccer team. I did not have any teammates around to help me. No immediate support system, no safety net. Study abroad tested my resilience and taught me how to be truly independent. In a world that sometimes tells women to stay at home and be scared, I was able to travel by myself and experience the generosity of strangers. I realized the world is not as scary as it sometimes seems to be. When I came back to the States, I was ready to take senior year by storm. But unfortunately, in the first game, I tore my ACL. My nightmare had come true, as this injury effectively ended my soccer season. I had to learn how to lead from the sidelines, but most importantly, I learned that I'm not just a soccer player. I am a leader, a scholar, a world traveler, a friend, and most importantly, a global citizen. Gotta get that in there somewhere, right? My time at Soka not only taught me the values of independence and leadership, but also the importance of having a community. I think for most of us, it's a common sentiment that we're not adults or our lives aren't together yet. But if we look back to our first year here and see how far we've come and the places we've been, it doesn't matter if we haven't found our perfect grad school or our dreams job yet. Together, as a community, we've fostered each other's development, forming people who not only care for this world, but have the necessary qualities to excel in it. I would like to express my pride in my classmates. We did it, everyone, and I envision nothing but the best for all of us.
Thank you, Elise. Now, please welcome Dmitry Garo.
Hello, everyone. I am humbled to be here to speak on behalf of the amazing class of 2017. My name is Dmitry Garo. I am a French international student from France, French from France, who has been in California for over 9 years. As my classmates know, I have a background in theater, so it is only fitting that I should do my graduation speech as a song. Just kidding. Not happening. When I think about our mission statement and the global impacts that we want to make, I personally think that before we can make the world a better place, we have to find a way to make a difference within our community. We all can make an impact, whether it is through volunteering, community service, or any other mean. I chose to do that through the arts, specifically theater. With an associate's degree in theater arts for performance and acting from Saddleback College, I tried to bring to Soka a different perspective when it comes to the arts on campus. When I arrived, theater was not very existent on campus except for a class that was offered every several semesters. I decided that was not good enough for me. My fellow classmate, Emily Castillo, and I created created an improv club our first year, which I then expanded to become a full-on theater arts club. Over the past 4 years, the club has grown with the interest in theater on campus. I have been lucky to direct 3 plays, one of which that I wrote myself, and finally this semester, the university's first musical. And oh my God, it feels so much better to do what you want. Those are references to Legally Blonde, the musical, by the way. Having done theater for most of my life, I never really questioned why I love doing this, but people at Soka have made me question what it is exactly that makes theater so important to me. In fact, by being in a place that did not provide much in what I loved, my passion grew by having to create something and solidify why theater was important to me. My goal for my time at Soka was to bring theater on campus because I believed that it can become a value to the education that we receive. Through this semester's musical, we were able to reach out and introduce Soka to off-campus people who had never even heard of our university. About half of the cast was from off-campus, and they got to interact with our students and be exposed to the kinds of ideas and questions that we raise on this campus. And we know that theater is a good way of getting people to come to the campus, as we sold out all 3 of our performances. Theater is a form of expression. It is a reflection of people's lives or what goes on in society in a way that captures people's attention in a different way. The play that I wrote, Communicate, portrayed real-life scenarios that were exaggerated and changed a little bit to fit the story. The play then challenged the audience to reflect upon their ways of communicating with one another. One of my biggest rewards was receiving messages from the audience about how the play impacted their lives or their visions of life upon their reflection of my play. As an actor, you are asked to understand your character's objective and super-objective. The objective is the character's goal in a specific scene. Throughout our time at SUA, we have accomplished many objectives, like I must pass an exam, I must give a presentation, I must submit a complete and decent capstone. And all of these objectives are linked to the super objective, which is the core objective in someone's life, a greater purpose. The education we have received at Soka hopefully has helped us to define or to explore the greatest purpose for all of us. I realize that my super objective is that I must entertain people. Throughout my theater experiences, I have attempted and will continue to entertain the people around me. And through entertainment, I plan on challenging the ways in which people think in order to create communities that understand and can defend their arguments for peace and global citizenry. To my fellow classmates, we have all different backgrounds and different passions. I challenge you to go around the world, find something that you love, whether it is through the arts, sports, teaching, becoming lawyers, opening up businesses, whatever you decide, through your passion, make an impact that is going to leave someone else thankful they crossed your path. I sure am that I crossed yours. Class of 2017, I thank you one and all, the ones who thought I'd fall, who taught me how to fail, who helped me to prevail. That's also a Legally Blonde reference. But really, I can't thank you enough for your support over the past 4 years and the strong friendships that we have created here. I look forward to seeing what we all are going to accomplish in life. We did it! Thank you.
Thank you, Dimitri. Also representing the class of 2017, please welcome Delena Tran.
I have been dreading commencement since Core 100. I simply don't want to leave, but I found the ultimate solution. Are you ready for it? The secret is to make every moment an awkward moment. I just wasted 10 seconds of your life. If you're like me, that awkwardness felt longer than it really was. So maybe I haven't figured out how to stop time completely, but I did learn how to be in the moment. The very act of feeling awkward in an uncomfortable situation means that you're engaged. If you feel indifferent, then it's not awkward because you don't care. This is just one of the many things Soka taught me about using awkwardness as an asset. When I first came to SUA, I didn't know what it meant to care about others or even what it meant to be cared about. Growing up, my world was full of people who made it clear that any affection was merely fake politeness and I didn't deserve to be loved. Fearing that any outreaching hand would be just another slap or punch, I withdrew into myself and never learned how to socialize or empathize. But I was worried about the morally corrupt, uncaring person I was becoming, so I came to SUA in hopes that I could finally learn empathy. Everything changed when I started my new life away from this hate. Yes, I made a fool of myself, and yes, I pushed some people away. More importantly, I gained courage by challenging myself and treating failures as learning opportunities. The greatest lesson I learned is that every effort counts. I bet Kat never knew that sharing her favorite candy with me before she even knew my name gave me the courage to introduce myself to the class of 2020 when I hated myself so much I couldn't imagine anyone else wouldn't hate me. I bet Kylie never knew that the drawing of her and her roommate together posted on her door encouraged me to reach out to my assigned roommate second year when I had already convinced myself that she didn't like me. I bet Pursue never knew how he helped me rediscover my motivation when he cheered me up after finding me sleeping in the corner of a piano practice room. And I bet the Board of Trustees member I met in the bathroom about 2 hours ago never knew that what she said to me about Soka family being my real family, even though my blood family isn't here today, it meant so much to me. And I might never knew if I ever made someone smile when they really needed it. I finally learned how to love through this awkward stumbling. This legacy of celebrating the weird and uncomfortable is what I want to leave behind at SUA. Awkwardness is courage in disguise. It's the sign for us to step up and talk to someone with a different background or communication style. It's a win-win situation. In the best cases, shared experiences of awkwardness can be effective bonding moments. That's why student orientation leaders make you embarrass yourselves and student affairs doing icebreaker activities. There's nothing left to lose after humiliating yourselves. Try to pull a skit together in 5 minutes with ridiculous props like an oversized tomato can. Even if the other person backs away and never talks to you again, it just means that you've got one less problem without them. To my underclassmates, I beg you to keep the culture of caring strong and to never stop trying. I spent so many sleepless nights worrying about the embarrassing things I regret doing or the reaching out I regret not doing. I spent even more nights feeling that no one cares or reciprocates my friendship despite all of my efforts. It's painful and it's exhausting, but it's so, so worth it. Because you never know whose day you made just a bit brighter by being there. And we can't give up on being that light of hope for someone else. How can we become global citizens if we don't use our education to its maximum potential and live it in our daily lives by caring for the people around us? Thank you for listening, and thank you to my beloved Soka family for accepting me, awkwardness and all.
Thank you very much for your moving speech. I was about to cry. And congratulations to all the graduates. Well, it is now my great pleasure to present the Founders Award. I'd like to present Founders Award all of the graduates today here. And our committee recommended one person, but this person represents all of you. I believe this. This year's Founders Award recipient is Cassidy. Founders Award. Just be grateful. In accordance with the founding principle of Soka University of America, your diligent effort in pursuit of academic excellence, commitment to integrity and service to the university community have demonstrated the idea of this institution. In recognition of your outstanding contributions and with the expectation that your continued growth and development will foster immeasurable value, you are hereby presented with the Founders Award on this 26th day of May 2017. Daisaku Ikeda, founder, congratulations.
If you're my classmates, you know I do this a lot, and I get really nervous in front of so many people, and I word vomit. So I'm just going to keep it brief, and I don't want to cry. So I just really want to say thank you so much to all of the people that have supported me and have supported all of us. SUA is really the most challenging thing I've done in my life, but I've had so much growth, and I think that's the same for everybody in this class. So I want to thank faculty and staff, our board of trustees, parents and family, and also my class of 2017. You know how much I love you, even though I would shout at you to buy our freaking class t-shirts junior year. It's because I love you. And also our university founder, Daisaku Ikeda. Obviously, this university would not be here without his efforts, so I want to appreciate him. And then I just want to say that to all the people that have given me so much support and love, that I promise that I will make you proud in whatever I do. So, thank you.
As you must have observed by now, by the way, congratulations, Cassidy. As you must have observed by now, we're fortunate at SUA to have such a rich and talented pool of young singers and musicians. To celebrate the graduation of the class of 2017 and show their love, the students will now perform for us Seasons of Love. After the performance, we will begin the recessional. For your safety, please remain seated until the music stops and the platform party and the class of 2017 have exited the stage. Directly following the recessional, please join us for a reception outside this Performing Arts Center. Now, please welcome the SUA Student Chorus and Orchestra.
535,000 moments of years.
Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2017. Thank you once again for your attendance today.